My practice area is really made up of three parts. There's the litigation part, so going to court, commercial litigation. There's arbitration, which is very similar, but with an arbitration tribunal, it's not actually going to court. And then the third aspect is contentious regulatory. So that's really dealing with regulators, dealing with other authorities. So my group, which has about 30 partners and 100 lawyers, deals with all of those different kinds of work. And particularly the more junior lawyers who join the department can do a mixture of that. They don't specialise in a particular area. We encourage people to try lots of different things, see what they enjoy, get the experience.
I am a newly qualified associate in the Litigation and Dispute Resolution practice at Clifford Chance. I help on all sorts of matters in our Litigation and Dispute Resolution team. I went to uni, I did history at university. Clifford Chance consistently was coming up in kind of the things I was reading. There was brilliant work on offer. You were incredibly well supported and you came out of a kind of training contract as someone who had really been built up by the firm to go and do the job of being a lawyer.
So I read law at the London School of Economics in Holborn. I chose to qualify into litigation and dispute resolution because I sat there in my third seat of my training contract and I really enjoyed the matters that I was working on, drafting of witness statements, engaging with counsel. I got to attend a hearing. Even though I was working from home and the experience was different, I was still heavily involved in tasks and I was still getting as much as I could out of my time there.
A lot of our work has to stay confidential, so no one's ever going to know that we got a fantastic settlement with the regulator or that we won a massive award in an arbitration for a client. The case I worked on about 2 years ago was a very large case where we were acting for a bank which was defending a case brought by a housing association in another jurisdiction. The claim was for £1 billion. We had a 10-week trial, but actually we settled it in the 9th week of the trial, so we never got to the judgment.
And it's really exciting to see deals that I work on in the press. It's quite rewarding.
I have personally worked on some very high value disputes. We're talking hundreds of millions. And the idea that your issue is kind of global in nature does make it feel, again, a bit more important, but it's things that are affecting things going on in Asia and Europe, North America, Africa, all over the place.
So when we have a big case, then we'll tend to have a pretty large team on it. There'll be one or more partners, some senior associates, some more junior associates, and then the trainees and newly qualifieds. And it's really important that they feel part of the team. The trainees and the newly qualified lawyers are often the ones who are responsible for keeping our action lists up to date. So they have to know what's happening across the whole of the case, see what the different tasks are, and see how their role fits into that.
You're often kind of in charge of managing all the documents that come in. We're talking about like thousands of documents here. And so, that's just kind of organisation, attention to detail, doing witness statements, drafting statements of claim, and then take forward comments through by more senior people.
Sometimes you might be working on a deal where you do have to work maybe a couple hours on the weekend, or you are working really late on a weekday. There always is a break afterwards. You're not just consistently put on really long deals. And say, for example, the deal is published in the FT, then you have that breather and you're like, oh, it was worth it. The hard work paid off.
There's like personal satisfaction from almost everyone in like doing a good job.
I think some skills or attributes perhaps that trainees and new qualifieds need when they join the firm. The first thing I'd say is enthusiasm. You need to be excited about what you're doing. The second thing I think is intellectual curiosity, wanting to know and understand what we do, what our clients' businesses are, what their concerns are, and continually wanting to learn more about the cases, the clients, and where they fit into them. The third thing, which I think is really important, is attention to detail. It can be really, really important to get the right sentence, the right word in the right place, and that is critical to what we do. One of the things I really liked about Clifford Chance when I was looking at it as somewhere to work is that I didn't think there was a Clifford Chance person. There was a whole spectrum of different people, so I didn't have to think about, do I fit in, do I look like these people, do I not look like these people? We're a big office too, so there are plenty of other people who will share some of your interests. We have sports teams, we have a choir, we have a music group. There's all sorts of different ways that people can be themselves in the office as well as doing the work.
Your relationships with, I think, certainly people at your level are like very strong. I mean, these are people who, at the end of the day, you know, I studied with many of them during our kind of law conversion that was sponsored. So like, they're genuinely friends of mine. We've like been on holiday, but also we've been sat in the office at 1 a.m. together trying to get through something. So you see the peaks and troughs of everyone's life, and that kind of brings you closer, right?
I think increasingly as we look at new areas where disputes might arise, so technology and ESG, for example, those are areas which it's fantastic for junior lawyers to get involved in. They are new. No one has looked at them before. It's not like there's a textbook on the shelf that says, this is how you do it. We're actually relying on our new lawyers to come in and work with us in terms of thinking about how this is going to work, applying their thoughts and ideas to coming up with business development initiatives, ideas, explaining to clients how this works. And so it's a really exciting time to be in our department.